Our refrigerator has just been a complete failure of frustration. This refrigerator has really been a challenge. Actually considered taking this fridge out. Since we first bought this Baystar, it is a 2020 3226, and our refrigerator has just been a complete failure of frustration. We ran into days when we first got the RV where the refrigerator wouldn't cool below 50 degrees. And you know that doesn't work. You usually want your refrigerator to be in the 33 to 40. The bad part was when the refrigerator wasn't working, we had to use the ice chest. It takes up a lot of space. You had to get ice every single day. This refrigerator has really been a challenge. I mean, it's a good looking refrigerator. It actually matches our cupboards, which is really nice. With the small refrigerators, you don't have room for your drink. We have to keep them outside in a bay and just bring in a couple at a time, which is, it's good exercise for me. Go up and down the stairs. Actually considered taking this fridge out and changing it for a residential fridge, because there's one that fits from Home Depot. I think there has to be some adjustments on the side. This one fits perfectly. I'm not sure that one would fit absolutely perfectly. But the reason we didn't do it is because we only have 2 batteries. RVs with residential refrigerators will often have 4 to 6 batteries, and they have a bigger inverter that provides more power to that refrigerator. This refrigerator, even though it can run on propane, still requires electricity. I didn't understand that in the beginning when we had our water cell battery, and it wouldn't hold power but a few hours. In the middle of the night, the alarm would start ringing on this refrigerator, and I couldn't figure out why. It was propane. I was going, what's the problem? Well, on propane, it still needs a small amount of electricity to ignite the propane. We have our lithium batteries now, so we can go up to 24 hours. Anyway, back to replacing it. We chose not to do that because that would have required some upgrades in our inverter and our batteries. So, and with I got the lithium, I might have been able to, but I didn't want to cut into my 24 hours. I like having the propane. So when we went to JW Refrigeration, these Amish guys in Elkhart, Indiana, they did give us the option to change this refrigerator to electric only. But once again, I chose not that option. I wanted to keep the propane. I'll show you the coils that the Amish people invented and built and installed for us. That has improved our refrigerator quite a bit. Even after getting our refrigerator upgraded by JC Refrigeration, we still noticed occasionally it would still warm up into the 40s. And we found that if we just change it to propane for a day, that the propane takes care of it. So we took it back to JC Refrigeration, and they're very kind people. They replaced a piece that they called it a heater or something, improved the amperage, and so it worked a little better. So every so often we have to put it back on propane to get it cooled down a little. And on 30 amp, it does not cool adequately. So when we're on 30 amp, we have to go ahead and put the fridge on propane. Probably for the better, because I bought these 2 soft start units that I put on both air conditioner units, and we're able to run both air conditioners on 30 amps because when they start, it doesn't pull as much electricity. You can't have anything else running when you have those 2 air conditioners running. You have to turn the water heater on propane. You can't run the microwave, the toaster, or the coffee pot. These are the controls for this fridge. You have your power on and off. And yep, I've just barely touched it and it went off. And every once in a while the power will go off, and maybe that's what happens. We just accidentally get our finger near that. Then you have your modes. And so you can go to propane, auto, or electric. And so we have it on auto so that when we unplug the RV, it immediately goes to propane by itself. And we do leave our propane on when traveling. I know there's a huge debate about that. This is for controlling the temperature, and it has numbers 1 through 9. And I want to tell you that these numbers are totally worthless. This does not change the temperature of the fridge in any way, shape, or form. And over here is a little thermometer that I bought that helps us keep track of the temperature. We've had quite a history with our refrigerator and our Norcold that we call No-Cold. I'm going to explain some of the history and show you some of the details about our upgrades for this video. I was doing some research online. I found there's this company that makes a fan that goes on the fins inside the refrigerator, which I will show you. And those fins get frost on them, and then the system cycles through and that frost melts off and leaves water in the refrigerator. So I was looking at different options, and I found this company that sells these fans that they've designed, and the fan goes right on the coils, keeping the frost off of there, plus helping circulate air through the refrigerator. So I asked them if they would send me out a fan to install, and I'm going to video the installation, and then they asked me to give a review in August when it's really hot and see how it's helped our refrigerator. They're not sponsoring this video, but they did provide me with this fan so that I would be able to give an honest opinion and show the installation. So it came today. I'm excited about that. And it came with some different parts. There's some Velcro and some brackets and some connectors for the wire. Came with these instructions here, and then this is the fan, and it's kind of a nifty little thing. It'll fit right in the back of the refrigerator, and it has 3 little switches for controlling the fans and a fuse, and you can see the fans on the back. And then it has this wire which I'm going to run down through the drain hole, and that brings it out the back of the refrigerator. My question right now is, where will I connect these wires? Their support is very good and they respond very quickly. So I'm going to be working with them to figure out exactly where to get my power for the 12 volt in the back of the refrigerator. So I'll be showing you the installation and then giving you an update at a later date. So on the refrigerator you have 2 outside cooling vents. One is down below and one is up above. The higher one is the one where the heat comes out the most because heat rises. If this refrigerator wasn't in the slide, it would be a permanent one coming out the roof, which would be much more efficient. So they have to put some fans in there. I'll show you those. This is the inside of my refrigerator on the lower side. You can see the coils that were provided. This here is something I just figured out. This is a little tray for condensation, and there's a hose that comes down here that runs into here, and that's what I'm going to run my wire through. So I took that out, and this is the controls for the Norcold, and this is where the propane part works. This fan was put in when they redid the refrigerator over a year ago. This one I had to replace this last summer. They can be heard inside the RV house. This is the top part of the coil that the Amish people invented, and I guess it has bigger coils and works more efficiently. I'm going to install this fan. It's by Cooling Unit Warehouse. I will put their website on this video. So the first thing we have to do is figure out where in the back we're going to hook this to the fins. Okay, it looks like those two right there. Looks like you can bend the fins a little bit to get them to fit the way you want. Dry off backside of the fin, and there's some ice on there. It's got to be dry where the Velcro won't stick. You see this little tray? That's where the water, when it melts from there, goes down in this tray, and then there's a hole back in there. And then we're going to put a little rubbing alcohol on there just to make sure that it can stick good on that fin. All right, then we have these little things that we have to put in, and if you see here, don't get too close. If you see, this goes on the top and those go on the sides. So when it goes up on here, it's got to go up like that. So the fan's going to actually angle up. So then I'm going to take off this tape and I'm going to line it up. And then press it on. Oh. And it's not sticking. Fortunately, I had some more Velcro. Won't stick anymore, so we're going to try again. Okay. Partly because they're so cold, they're icy. That makes it harder for it to stick. Hopefully I have it dry enough. Alright. Back. And nope. Will not stick. I think the only way to get them to really go on would be if your fridge was off for a while and they warmed up. That's not going to stay. That's not going to work. Okay, we live in our RV full time. We got all of our groceries. We don't have the luxury to just turn the fridge off and let it warm up. So it turns out that the adhesive on the Velcro is just not sticky enough. Even the other Velcro that I had wasn't sticky enough. So I had this Gorilla Tape. So what I did was I put the Gorilla Tape right over the Velcro and then go ahead and peel the backing off. So I'm trying not to have the fridge open too long. The other thing I did was after I dried it off, I did put alcohol on there to help it stick more. So now I have a stickier surface, but I just need to see approximately where it's going to go. Okay. So then I'm gonna stick this on and make sure that's really stuck on there good. And then I can put the bracket on. Can you see that okay? Mm-hmm. Oh, shoot. Like that. Okay, so now it's connected to the Velcro, and then I gotta undo this wire because I need that to run down through the hole. And now this is going to be the tricky part because I have to get these to snap back in there. That was easy. There's little plastic pieces that come out.
Seeing it.
Oh yeah, you can't really see this one. Alright. Okay, then you take this wire and put it in this hole. Let's see. It's probably easier. Put the wire in the hole. And then run the wire into this drain hole and not get you see it. Alright, I can't get it to feed any further. So I'm going to try it one more time, then I'm going to go out and look. Okay, I got to get the wire to come out this hole. Right now we are stuck. The wire is not coming out. Right, I can't get the wire down in there, so I'm going to put Vaseline on the wire and see if that helps it get on through. Alright, so we're going to try it again with Vaseline. Feels like it is. No, then it got stuck. Got the Vaseline. No, did not get it down the tube. Okay, I'm putting some olive oil back in there because the Vaseline didn't do it. Okay, I'm further than it was before. I'm still going in. All right, let me go out and see. All right, I got the wire. Good job. So now I can go back up, install it, pull the wire the rest of the way out so that the excess wire's down here instead of inside of there. So now we're just pushing the rest of the excess wire through, so the excess wire will be on the outside, and then we put this little tray back in here so that wire doesn't get caught in anything. And here we go. It is installed. Now, hopefully that tape will stick on the cold fins. We will see. And we have little switches here to turn the fans on and off. And there's the tray. And the water will just go on out next to the wire. We should be good to go. I'm going to go out and do the wiring. And then we will come back and see if the puppy works. Okay, I stripped some more of this wire so that I can run the red up to there and put the black ground down to here. I have these little clips, and one is a piggyback spade pit so that I can unplug this and plug it back in with the piggyback onto it. So that's my next step. The 2 pins are on there. So I'll put that one on there and one down there. That's my next step. All right, so I have this black wire hooked to here for grounding. And then I put the other pin in up here with the other pin here. So now we should be able to go inside and we should be able to click the fans on. When I hooked the refrigerator, when I took that off and piggybacked onto that thing right there, the refrigerator would not work right. So now I'm going to take this cover off and see if there's anything in here I can piggyback onto. Well, I wanted to report to you that that was an easy job. But for me, not being very mechanical and not an electrician, it was not an easy job. My biggest challenges were getting the Velcro to stick onto the fins because they were cold, and I finally used Gorilla Tape and got that. My second biggest challenge was getting that wire down that plastic hose all the way down. It just kept getting stuck halfway down. So when I put olive oil in there, then it slid right on through. So that was a good thought. My next and last challenge was in the wiring part outside. To get the ground wire in, I had to unscrew a screw and then hook the ground wire to that and then piggyback the clip on. But when I did that, I came back in, the fridge wasn't reading right. It was beeping and had an error code. So I went back out, took off the piggyback and hooked the fridge back up normal and it's running right. Okay, I finally got the fan wired up. It took me a little bit to figure out which 12-volt wire to use. I'll show you what I did here. This red wire here was coming down from up above that ran the two fans up, and so what I did was I just cut into the wire and hooked the wire up that I brought. Remember, I brought the other wire through here and around, so I got it grounded over there, and then I took this other wire and just hooked it in there with this little twisty. It's good and solid, and then that way now I have power. So you can see the fans are running now, and what's nice, they got little switches here, so if it cools down too much you can turn one of them off. There's 3 switches and a fuse up there, so I'm glad to have them running. They actually have kept the temperature in the 30s very well for the last couple weeks since I've had them in. I noticed the last couple of days, for some reason, it went back up to about 40 degrees, but it's been consistently cooler with those fans. So far, I'm very happy with them, and I will be updating you later in the summer and let you know if I'm still happy with them. I do want to give a shout out to Cooling Unit Warehouse for sending me the fan. It's a very nice unit, and I think it sells for around $80, so it was nice that they sent it out for me to try out.